At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched.
Hi everybody, welcome back. It has been a very long time. I do apologize and I'm so sorry. I have not been able to record and upload videos. I have been sick. I don't know if you can still tell from my voice, but I have been really sick. So I was not able to upload some videos and record for quite a bit of time there. So sorry, but we are back now. We're gonna continue Beacon Pines today. Hopefully finish it. If not, I'll keep uploading until we are done and through with the story. Let me. I believe this is actually where we left off last time. Let me actually double check that room. Alright, so yeah, this is where we last left off then last time, so we should be good. Alright.
For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention. The end.
The end. On the left side though, the picture does not look like it's frozen because I think it's a bit, it got like the image has been re-appeared, but it should be frozen, guys, don't worry.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again! No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Alright, so it has been a very long time, so I don't remember what we have and what we have not done. I think it was this one, right? I think we'll do this again. A beginner's guide to hostile interrogation. I think we did chill last time, right? No, we did hard last time. So let's try and do chill this time. They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just gotta play cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell
He
rung.
looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why did you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids give old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of this ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my grand up to? If you'll cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your grand moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town, an archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes.
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrel of explosives. I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an
Luca
explanation.
looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense in time. Oh my god, he's
He
leaving.
edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed. He's inching and inching towards the stairs.
Before
He's
the
gonna
kids
run.
had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought
He
to
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here?
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there and let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
Do the sly cop this time.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What's going on here? You! You're that mode wheel girl. Please call me back. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
Seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect the kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. You never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here to...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day, I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf, and wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in a perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission control. Mission critical. Mission control. Mission control is the treehouse. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it? It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work on that. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the wills.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells is his apples!
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine, in the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it
Beck
seems.
marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried? Covered? Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh! It's an anagram! Nun Creed's Drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Rolo, that was incredible! Well, it's either that or Kren's Nude Rug Store. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Nun Creed's Drugstore. It's already nighttime? That was fast. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Well, Mr. Tolliver's kinda busy right now. I know, we let him go, so I mean, he's... should be fine. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this Insipid Town festival really about? I think...
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris. And he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kirk came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That's just a temporary agreement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice now to make. We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always be just a Gus. Good night, Harris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Oof. It's getting late, children. Anything good, Granny? Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. This is true.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey Solomon, we're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an agreement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life, though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice should be my first choice, but whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person of their choice of confection. Oh yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some reason, it's easy as cold hard cash. There he goes with his little fees. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Alright, so we can't enter this because it's locked. I remember from the previous episodes, when we came back from the forest, Mr. Nuncreed, we talked to Mr. Nuncreed, right? And then he did us dirty. He did us dirty. So it would be the telephone booth. Have you seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That's not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Gren's Nude Rug Store. I mean, Underground Secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground Secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was
Ooh.
stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Ooh, there's that broken mask. Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, did you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue number 12 were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. This suit has a broken mask. So we have found our mystery warehouse creeper. We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it was like a nun creed and talks like a nun creed, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. Excuse me, coming through. Valentine Fertilizer House. Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer, in a series of tubes. Pa always says, you can only trust the miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies to the exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Alright. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, me, oh my god. Eeny, meeny, miny. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide! Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. 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 Awesome. Y'all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password, but they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Ooh. Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back
He
before
gestured toward the strange tubes.
all of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his psychic? No, we were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us, says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people, but the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself, now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, "Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes until the day he's dead and gone."
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to the sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. Tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming under your nose, Juniper. Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. The fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. Oh. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side! Whee. You good? Yep. Whee. I love this town. Whee! That's cool.
Chapter 8.
Ooh, chapter 8.
The cold, hard truth.
Cold hard truth.
Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Ooh. Oop. Moop. Moop. That was intense? Yeah. I think I might parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got any of us. It didn't feel like we traveled that far. Where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone want to blow something up blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Is this? This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow? No time. Nuncreed's getting away. This is Beacon Pines, I think. Okay. This is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well versed in all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Rolo, stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they could keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. Yeah, this looks like this the Beacon Pines. Is this the bridge? It's a frozen lake. This is where the pig would sleep. This is the basketball. This is where, I forget his name already, bullied one guy with Tina, was it? I don't remember, but this was perennial. This is perennial harvest in the new city, I think.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
Catch up to Mr. Nuncreed.
Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave. Right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rolo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you. You betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
You get to choose.
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed as as if to give him the stage. And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
I like the melody though. That's really, I like it. It's really good.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who called me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom!
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone? You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you had pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help both of us move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting with fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there is a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Whoa. Gran was Mom all along. You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9?
The Devil You Know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen.
Tempus Liquamen.
There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Oh, that's how she got exposed. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean up this place. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Miss Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please? Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I am Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. Truth is, that's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Huh? the ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side, like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look
He
dreadful.
paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party, but alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir, of course, sir. You've done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed
Kerr
upon.
gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with these formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents.
He's drinking.
A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine. Solomon to Sharper Valentine, what the?
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
That's a very good
hushed
transition.
horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
This is a story about change. What? No! Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return in your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Ha! Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr.
William
Kerr.
Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward. Excuse me? Does anyone else have something to
A
contribute?
helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools? You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy! Oh my god, he's so happy that he's back. I gave you both the greatest gift of a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I didn't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting my time, my dear. I've been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's alright, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffered from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of perennial harvest? Ha! You think that puffed up Blatterskeet could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so Bill Kerr was a patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Well, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. Choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ha! The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it. Huh.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Okay, so we should... Yeah, the MCDC. It was flight. We'll do flight this time, because we did fight last time, right?
Decided to take the only option they had left. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. Iggy, that's right. Yeah, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. We'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs.
Signs.
They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Ah, we're back here. Okay. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. We're up in the mountains. I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came from. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Alright, let's check. We didn't get to check the thing, so I think we can actually... So this looks like... This is where their house was. It looks like it got dragged over. So they did say that they moved the town, right? So this, I think this is where their place was. So this would have been... Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Is that Bozo Kerr? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With
rude.
a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You know my parents. Never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. So this is where his dad died. Or this is where his dad was buried. There's supposed to be a tree here. Did they move that too? What's the readout? It's staying just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within the safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? Hard to say with all the snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep in Woodweep. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing here with. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Right, can we make it one swoop? Welcome to Beacon Pines.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How is that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all the snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source? You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Is Beacon Pines. Wait, can I bring a thing with me? No, I can't. No. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't have time to run. Or, you know, swim run. Do fishes run? Can they run?
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest here for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence.
Oops. The way the snow covered everything over, kinda calming. Yeah. Well, I haven't had the time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored. Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Roll are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Well, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great, but she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh. It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom
Luca's
of all
eyelids
this.
began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. Oh.
The house
Warming
smelled of
up.
warm bread.
Oh, he's having a dream.
Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing.
Jeez.
It sounded like you were going somewhere?
Yeah, he's going somewhere, alright.
Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca
Thanks.
hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Who are you?
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them. lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
What do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's head. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt anybody. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh boy, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
Big-headed, scarfy-necked, furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature here a bit. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all calm down. Who are you? A friend? An observer? A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility? Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a little gnat and buzz off on the gun? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up. Oops.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place.
What a jerk.
Cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood. Or we teleported to some alternate universe. Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. We're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor, power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so. unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to the miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane.
Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably.
So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover...
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
the source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they
He
could...
looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this is really home...
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simple, head west through Weep Wood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you, but you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. 259K. Fall off distance is still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who love them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. Almost lunchtime. He's dancing. Weirdo. Oh my god. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some
Iggy
advice.
gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey, who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover. Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah! Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pull off the switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch it, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. So let's do this. Well, if they break the source, which, well, according to Mr. Nuncreed, right? It'll freeze the whole entire town, so they can't break the source. I wonder what are they gonna do about it? Let's see. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you to stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks, now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Alright. Well, we can't exit, right? Yeah, we can't exit, so let's just go. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
Yeah. What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they gave kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yup. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop! I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the look on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under the tree. But when I came back for them later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Oh, what a jerk, man. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who's way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotten children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser. I'm surprised they didn't go into like a house or something to actually like, you know, be cold and be safe, and they just like slept here. I would have gone into shelter. I wouldn't sleep out in the wild. I wouldn't do that. It's the coffee shop, isn't it? Yeah, this town hall. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Crooked. Ooh. That's a new card. Or charm, I would say.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! 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 Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig up a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source. It's a dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Uh-oh. Kerr. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr! Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two. At least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh heavens no, my role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us. You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine is just happened to be lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile is not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. Well, I'll have you know, I am an exceptional liar. That's fair enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca.
Oh.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How? What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way to get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll know you. I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phyllis Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Dum dum dum. Pretty dum dum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just no good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only, out. Your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. Makes sense for all of us to fall together. Whack news travels in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. So we have to choose. Since I've already done this on stream, I've technically already seen what happened. And what I chose was to actually accept Iggy's request. I did it for Iggy. Yeah, we're gonna accept.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. Bye, Iggy.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
He was like, he was becoming his friend too. Fireworks! Hello and goodbye, Iggy. That was... Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Huh. But of course, those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice should save this town. For a little while anyway. How? Tempus liquamen is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, the energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what in the world would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It would have, yep, the whole town would have freezed over, yep. I think it will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us some precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? Q. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Look at Van Horn. You are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west.
Huh?
Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Beacon Pines, pine harder.
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm?
Oh my.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good?
I was even starting to like Iggy.
Yeah, same, me too.
No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Alright. So this is the other one that we haven't finished up. So let's do this one. And we do have Malice to do this one. So let's do Malice. We played this part of Branch already. Let's go skip to where you left off. Okay. Enlist the help of Jeff. Enlist the help of Iggy and Tish. I actually don't remember. Wait, maybe I do. Do I have anything good, new things in here? Let's check. Oh, I do. Cricket.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
I don't remember if that was it that I needed. I don't think that was it, because I just did the thing. I can check again. Oh no, I did. Okay, that was it. It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh, look at those two young fools. How did it end up in the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job gotta do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Okay. So I gotta... what was it again? I gotta enlist the help of Joff. And then I gotta enlist the help of Iggy and Tish, so we gotta go find them. Alright, let's try and find them then. I guess I've played this one? I don't remember. Beacon. Beacon. Okay, they're not here. Let's try... We'll go down after, but let's try here. Nope, they're not here. That was Dawn. Undaunted, he shook his head. Over? No. Endings are merely a state of mind. This doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I admire the conviction. But can he really pull through? He can. Okay, they're not here. Is Iggy and Tish over here? Oh, here's Joff. Hey, Joff. What can I do for you? Well, I know how much you hate perennial harvest. Hate is a strong word. Oh, sorry, I mean, I didn't say it was the wrong word. Gotcha. So we're gonna break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
Hey, hey. Yeah, see, I knew kids were alright. Great, so you'll help?
The joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But give me one good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Oof, fight! I've done enough fighting for my one lifetime, and more than my share of losing. Time's come to hang up the gloves. Okay, if it's not fight, maybe crooked?
Luca wasn't ready to give up. He shouted out again.
Crooked. Yeah, they're all crooks. Like cockroaches. Stamp one out and another comes scurrying along to take its place. Maybe not, okay. Shit! Yeah, it's all shit. I still helping. Ain't that some shit? Oh my god. Junk? Junk. Yeah, what of it? Oh, that's right, because he likes junk, right? Sonny, I've got more junk than a king has copper. I ain't interested. Okay, well, let's try hide.
Jeff's
Hide.
brow perked up.
What'd you say? Go ahead and hide then.
Sensing some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not afraid.
Jeff's scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you will about old Jeff, and they all do. But you'll never hear him say I hid from nothing.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed? Some sort of disguise. I've just got the thing. And while we're at it, that should come in handy. This ain't gonna be free, you know? I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gobs should cover it. Put it on my tab.
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Swing by first thing in the morning. Alright, we got Jeff's help. Let's go grab Tish and... They're not here, okay. Tish and Iggy. Are they gonna be here or gonna be... Oh no, they are here. Hey Tish, look who it is. Luca, are you here to try tickle us to death again? Look, just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we've both been giant bags of shits to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately, life has been kinda... strange, you know?
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we... break our hostilities, at least for now? We do like breaking things. Even if a truce means less breaking things. What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff? Go on. I need you to cause a distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest
A
HQ.
wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My. Luca Van Horn, I'm impressed. And after all this is done, maybe you and Tish can come and hang out at the trio sometime.
Iggy glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause chaos.
With a quick nod, Luca was off.
Oh, he totally wants to see the treehouse. Did you hear that, Tish?
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the
A
treehouse.
single tear ran down Tish's cheek.
What? I never expected this day to come. How wonderful.
Chapter 7. Into the Hive.
Into the hive. Let's
A good
go.
heist requires preparation. And thorough preparation takes time. Something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. "We're locked and loaded on my end." And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach perennial harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90% confidence.
Oh my god, I wonder what this is. Can't
Rollo
wait.
took a
Oh
few
my
vigorous
gosh.
breaths and shook out his arms.
That's right, I forgot that he aged. I forgot. Yes. Just stay calm, Rollo. You can do this. Got your delivery here. A delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. One moment. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery scheduled for this morning.
He
Right?
had to think quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that it be kept
Rollo
secret.
sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the records. Our harvest awaits and such.
With a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
How is he gonna fit that thing? Our harvest awaits. Package here for the founder. Oh, I didn't hear about anything about... Yeah, this is a need-to-know kind of thing. I'll just check.
He stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this
Rollo
form.
interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. What did you say your name again was?
Rollo panicked.
A harvest awaits. Sir? That's restricted area. Excuse me, sir. A harvest awaits. Ready to light the candle, Tish? Yep. Suck on this perennial ham fist. What was that?
The distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. I've got a job to
The
do.
clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on! Just buzz me in already. Okay. Ha ha ha! Phew. That was close. Our harvest awaits? Hey, I figure, when in doubt, stick with the classics. Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone knows what to do. Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck, in case she needs some muscle. I'll head to the east to the founder's office. You two be safe. Alright, let's go. Wait, can I go through here? Yeah, no, I can't. Okay, so let's go. That's odd. There's not even any cups for the water. That is true. I always had, like, cups somewhere. There's, like, what do you call it? Like, something that you stick on, like, maybe either the wall or, like, the thing, like, here to have cups. And that doesn't have cups. Do you go left or... Let's go left. Straight or right? Let's go right. Okay, this is only one way. And are we back to the beginning? Solomon?
Solomon stopped in his tracks.
Luca? What are you doing here? It's a long story. Are you
A
okay?
veneer of confusion flashed across Solomon's face. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Some strange people grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and locked me up when they were distracted. I ran. Dang, okay. You should stick with me. We got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yeah. Rollo and Beck are headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. Got to get out of here. We can't just leave yet, but they'll catch us again. We've got to do something first. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? I'm not. I just need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I do think that I saw a door that says Founder. I just saw down this way.
Luca happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Office of the Founder. Knocking comes with Oh, here it is. Oh. So it is. Pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly fortunate.
Luca tried the handle. Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electronic lock. I don't see how we possibly could defeat a lock like
Luca
that.
smiled and looked at his watch.
Let's just wait a minute. Oh my god, Leona. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like it.
She mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How did you do that? It's good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us. Oh, this is bad.
Luca switched on his walkie-talkie.
Rollo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Great timing. We're stuck at a locked door marked 24601. Need you to get us through. But if someone catches us, we should get out of here. I'm not leaving my friend, Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Surely you don't have a way to get around the password.
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you just guess that? Oh, it's this absurd password Rollo heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the Founder uses such a basic word. Or they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rollo, I think this should do it. Oh my god. Bingo bango, doors open, Luca. You never fail to impress. What's that slippery lout even doing down here? We have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Okay, Luca, I think we're close to the next door is marked 1306.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the
13806.
screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. No, no. Crap, we've got company. Luca, must go faster. One sec, I can't think with all this
He
noise.
quickly skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is. 13806. Go, go, go! Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luca. Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. Oh man. No water cups. Rolo. Rolo, are you okay? Rolo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rolo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost them. Making our way back to Nellie's office. Okay, you two ramble rousers are coming with us. Nope. Make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't just stand there after them. Okay, I think that worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rolo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Mom! Oh honey, what did you do to your hair? I thought you'd be happy you finally used the young chemist lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. We need to get you out of here. We? Who is we? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Ever heard of a growth spurt? I had more of a growth spew. No, that's not possible.
Nellie leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding on the enamel of the molars consistent with Tempest liquid exposure. Is that what you call the gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Beck. Sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell is going on in this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempest Liquamine. It pulls energy from its surroundings in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvested the source and fusing small amounts of Tempest Liquamine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of the time, but it led to complications. The foul harvest. Perennial harvest came in and cleaned up the mess to succeed where Valentine failed, but Tempest Liquamine is rebellious. Rebellious? You can think of it as a manifestation of change itself. It's so volatile by its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists. Yes, I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott, harnessing Tempest Liquamine to reliably manipulate an organism's age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve a successful result before today's festival. But you didn't, right?
Nellie sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contained obvious errors, mistakes someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Meh, those clothes were all hand-me-downs anyway. Sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out. got cold feet and intentionally sabotaged his own work. I had considered that possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. Kerr had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. It's why we gotta get you out of here. I just... like, now. Wait, the vial! I finally solved the chemical equation allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Luca, we've got Dr. Modwell heading your way now. Roger that, be careful. Alright, everything's on track. And what is your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when we get there, and when they get here. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard drink for a hard man. Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
I should just smother you right now. What was that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly. You're no bother at all. Let's see what's... what I got. Security system. Time card logs. Payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
Just you wait. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
This must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps he's not as careless as you expected. I can go through like, here. Again, okay. I want to go through back here. It looks like the founder was helping Kerr plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with a party? Only time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. He must have been here recently. I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. Well, I feel bad either way. We're gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it! Locked. That was close. When we left Nellie's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Rolo, before we start tossing blame around, it's possible someone ordered a pizza. Love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not a pizza. What now? Don't look at me, I am officially retiring from the heisting business. So sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Someone watch the door. Of course. Everyone else huddle up. Oops. I think this little caper has gone long enough. Solomon, no. Hush, no. Child, the adults are speaking. Dr. Mogul, a brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you, Solomon the pathetic orphan child, the powerful and enigmatic founder, Harper, the fallen progenitor who created this town, Aurelia Harvest, Valentine, Fertilizer, all connected by a single thread, yours truly. But
Her
that's
eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Yes, now you've got it. Tempest Liquidate, you discovered how to reserve the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Very good. Though the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
And the effects went a little too far for my tastes. That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work. Which you did, admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
Yeah, I present to you the 8th wonder of
Before he could finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Nice. Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about it.
Rollo casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a taste.
Luca jiggled the vial mockingly.
Seize him. Look over here. Move another inch and I smash it.
She held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine, risk killing us all. Or if you're lucky, nothing happens, then what? We capture you and grant you much less leniency.
He pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
But I give you my word. If you hand over it now, none of you will be harmed.
Deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. We both know there's only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. Can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry, he's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Sakura, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance review.
The blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have to make a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. Don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. And to think all of this thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? Ah, I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn to my side. I offered him an opportunity to be a part of something great. But the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with the Force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As faith would have it, Luca. Your father's dying act was to grant me eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities and my subsequent ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use this time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You three, keep post outside the door. Well, crap. I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rollo, you just need some time. Rollo, it's over. We lost.
Nellie was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Sorry, Luca. Give me a minute to calm my mind. Hey, I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know, it's just we were so close. Got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Anything else that I can do? Just talk to Nellie. Okay, let's talk to Nellie. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Crow locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. A note hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short, so he left behind a letter with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents. Luca, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did it say? It was about an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest liquamen.
The color dropped from Luca's face.
Did she? She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusts Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. Now, I believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his work, and it cost him his life. That's reasonable. That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull.
Huh?
Chapter 8. Comeuppance.
Comeuppance?
Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Oh, so she bombed the thing. Oh. Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rollo. Hey, Mrs. Luca's Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh no, what did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his...
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We've got to stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Wait, did he...
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
Might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change? Maybe? We'll see.
Might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change.
Or a little junk? Like a pocket change? You're a lucky penny. Yeah, I plopped it in the vial when no one was looking. What's that going to do? No idea. That's the beauty of science. Now we observe. And all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he
It might still be the same. I don't know. Maybe a malice. Oh, well, never mind. Holy crap, he's a baby. Yeah, but he's still sharper, right? What? He was no longer. Well, he was no longer matters. Duh. This is an innocent child. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused you.
Eris awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do we do now? We do what Valentines always do. What must be done? I'll hurry home and prepare a crib for father, or young Sharper. That would be great. Help, thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over. You may leave now. Interesting.
Epilogue. Beacon Pine's coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Is he gonna change? Okay. Wait, walkie-talkie? Oh, you up yet? Roger that. It's a beautiful day at Mission Control. You gonna swing by? Be there in a minute.
Over time, Eleanor began moving Walt's old things out of the closet and into storage. Eleanor had moved back into her bedroom, and now that she wasn't sneaking out late, she even slept there most nights.
Oh. Mom! Mom, I'm ready to go now. You go on home without me, I'll meet you there. I got a batch of jam to finish jarring. It's funny. I only started making jam as a way to send messages without anyone noticing. But now, I enjoy it. Aw. Alright. Wait, can we go back? Maybe visit. Aww. They took the grave out because he's not actually here. Alright, let's go to Mission Control. I heard you and Rollo have big plans for the little treehouse. Yeah, it started getting crowded after we revoked the max capacity 1 Rollo and 1 Luca rule, so we decided to expand. But at least we've got some help with that. How's the internship at Nellie and Ilona's shop going? It's been great. I'm hoping it helps me get into the School of Agricultural setup at State. Also, Nellie said she'd write a letter of recommendation, which would be huge. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rollo. He's grown up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growth spurt. I don't just mean grown literally. This morning, he was just up and finished his chores before I even had breakfast. Well, some of that might be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, cause it'll go to his head, but I'm really proud of that little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way, but he's just too dang proud to tell you. I know. So, whatever we put, would it be like the same outcome? I don't know. Maybe, you think? I'm not sure. Hey Gus, how's the tree planting going? Couldn't have been better. I'm so grateful to Ilona and Nellie for letting me help. Oh, he's happy now. I just wasn't built to be a mayor. Too much bureaucracy. Gus, we finished cleaning up the sidewalk. What's next?
When Perennial Harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town. But some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right.
Aww. Anyone with a knack for art can help paint new offices. You can count on us. Well, it looks like you really found your calling. I never really felt comfortable telling people what to do. Now this is right here. This is something I can be proud of. Aww. How's napping this morning? The most underrated part of a good nap is the view. And the view's getting greener every day. Nice! Slow and Dirty Harvest. Aww. I see you decided on a name. Yep, we had to clear out all the old stuff before putting on the final touch. Slow and Dirty Harvest is now official. I like it. It was actually Nellie's idea. There's a lot of work to do, and the name serves as a reminder. Just because progress is important doesn't mean change should happen fast. In fact, I've learned that the more you care about something, the more important it is to take things slow. Our motto is go slow and fix things. Amen to that. No. That's cool. Small Gus. He looked to his friends with a thankful smile. After everything that could have gone wrong, everything that did go wrong, we made it. The
Closing
end.
her eyes, Miss Hatch took a deep, relaxing breath.
No. Oh, hello, Luca. How are you? Really good, actually. That's wonderful. Did I miss anything? I think you're pretty much up to speed. Yep, she is. She definitely is. Young Mr. Van Horn. How's little Solomon Sharper doing? Young Sharper seems to enjoy nature more than I. So we do a lot of strolling these days. Has he, attempted to crawl out of his crib and plot world domination? Yeah. Thankfully, no. I spoke at length with Dr. Modwell, and she feels that Sharper's infant mind was not developed enough to retain his previous memories. For all intents and purposes, the child is unmolded clay. Let's hope he's a little nicer the second time around. That is the objective, yes. But really, all I can do is try and hope. 2 activities I am endeavoring to find less distasteful. Well, I think you're doing a great job, and the whole town is ready to help out however we can. Can't wait to teach him to throw a
Eris
baseball.
did her best to ignore the tears welling in her eyes.
That would be acceptable. What's today's news that needs knowing? I'll give you tomorrow's headline today. Our old friend Patrick C. Montesquieu, aka William Kerr, just performed a stirring rendition of The Iceman Cometh, the State Correction Facility. I hear there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Well, I guess he has plenty of time to work on his craft. Alright, let's go do the treehouse. This has really been good so far. I love the story. This was great. Wait, oh, never mind. A little higher. Yup. A little lower. Yup. Little higher. Yup. I'm telling you, the angle isn't the issue. We need more power to the radio. Luca, there you are. Would you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of the antenna redesign. Fine. Iggy, just don't do anything drastic until we get back. Who, me? Tish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yup. They'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. If we really want mission control to turn into something bigger and better, we have to loosen our grip a bit. You're right. Lead the way. Check in with Beck at her house. Okay, let's go. Oh wait, I wanted to talk to... Do I have anything else? We could get this. Managed to reel in an actual fish this morning. Seriously? Yeah, an honest to goodness. Flip-flopping, swim-swamming fish! I don't think I've ever caught an actual fish here, but at least 7 years since I've caught one. I'd say it's a good omen. What do you do with the fish? Oh, I released it back into the pond. I'm hoping to catch it again tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Alright, let's go. So we still get to like, talk to them anyway, if I would like to. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, never mind. Anything here? Alright, let's just go. The bunnies grew up. Let's talk to Mr. Nuncreed. I actually want to talk to him. Wait, want to see the library? The library is bussin'. Hey, Mr. Nuncreed. I'm gonna go see my dad in a bit. Did you want to come with? Even after everything I did, you'd still...
Mr. Nuncreed shook his head.
You really are your father's son, aren't you? I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, you're always invited. Bet he'd love to hear from you. I'll visit Walt in my own time. You run along now. Jeff's wild ride.
With perennial harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused.
Come one, come all. No one's too big, no one is too small for Jeff's wild ride.
Maybe not completely unused.
Just one piece of candy for your ride of for the ride of your life. Who's next? Oh my god. Alright. Guess what? Yesterday I saw Dynasty's Titius. And that's good. It's great. I haven't spotted one of those in years. At this rate, Beacon Pines is gonna become the bug capital of the county. Or the country. Keep out. Still the same. Can we go through here? No? Still the same? How would we go back to the grave? I wonder. Back! Open these? No. Hey, I have news, Boy, this morning I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in? It's just a box. Let's not blow this out of proportion. It sounds like an awful lot of putting down roots. I guess I decided this place is root-worthy. You're gonna be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I do have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. I think I'll manage. Ready? Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. Ooh. What is that? Wait, is that the tree? Check in with Becca. That's okay. My mom's prepared this tree especially for you. They didn't have to do that. Just wasn't them. Just about the whole town pitched in. We all owe you. It should do okay in the cold of Beacon Pines, and thrive as things warm up. That's perfect. Alright, let's go. So we get to visit. Or if it's still like snowing over there. Alright, go. Ah, you got it. Now that's a good looking tree there. Being a special occasion and whatnot, this ride is on the house. You're gonna wanna hang on to that little tree. So this is new Beacon Pines, the other one is old Beacon Pines. Aww.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for. Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending, I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Let's just watch the end together. Done. A good little tree. The best little tree. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah, thanks for everything. Shucks. I only did what any super awesome best buddy would have done. We should probably give you some time alone now. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a wild year. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. Pa always says the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. I know. You don't even have to say it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yup. Thanks. There's just one thing missing now that you're part of our group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh god. I won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. I found the perfect way to start our summer. You got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you ever dream about Dad? Not a night goes by I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're going to forget him? Forget what he looked like? Forget his voice? Oh, because so much of him lives on you. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more, because his two favorite people planted it. Oh. I'll give you 2 moments. That's cute. Oh, he's sitting down. Hey, Dad. Dr. Modwell says that over the next few years, this place should warm up, so you won't have to be so cold for much longer. Oh, he's laying down. I think I finally understand why you left that night. There were things you believed in, big things. Those beliefs were the things that made you, you. If you wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in, you wouldn't have been there the same person. You wouldn't have been the same person anymore. I can't speak. You had to go, but that didn't mean you loved us any less. Oh, finally he understands. I might not visit you as much as I used to. I know you understand. Oh. That was good. Oh my god, that was good. I enjoyed every bit of that. voiceover was good. The music was great. I love that. The story is amazing. This was good. I loved it. It's really great. Well, I have no words. This was so good. I liked it. I can check this off my list now. Finally. This is a good journey. There was a bunch of highs and lows in the game. I love the charms part where you can go back and like go through, pick another kind of like sort of the story. It's like an ending and then yeah. I love it. Well guys, we've reached the end of the series. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me playing this game. It's a fun little... I don't think it's short. Fun little game. Loved it. Alright. Well, for everybody that stuck around, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked the whole series. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And click that notification bell icon to let me know, or at least to let the YouTubes know that you would like to see more of my content. What should we play next? I do have Hades on the line. We'll see. We might play some Hades or something else. Maybe another story-driven game. I don't know. Or maybe like some kind of like choose your own thing. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you again so much for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.